came home to my husband, to my daughter, to my dog, to my Mount Shasta family, and to Julie and Attila, living the Mayan calendar. I am timeless. I am then. I am now. I am after. Thank you, Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesha, Buddha, Jesus, Mary, Rikparamorbe, Neforbe, Nuambe, Christina, Kuan Yin, Yaishima, Sekhmet, Bast, Gaia, Akate, Artemis, William, John, Jim, Janet, Bridget, Morgan Le Fay, Gwyneth Nuth, Kerr, Madrone, Snake, Tiger, Swan, Deer, Crow, Raven, Hare, all the named and unnamed, I give thanks. Of the water and of the light, merry are the ones who develop their sight. Beloved and blessed, inspired as they create, fair are the ones who follow their fate. The path of the artist is blazed with vision, for when she opens one's eyes, far-reaching sight is given. For to take a step upon one's journey, real progress is made. For the bridge to eternity is open as soon as the first foundation blocks are laid. Love begets love as light attracts light, and the love that flows from beyond the bridge has an awesome, all-encompassing might. Though gentle in its essence, but with a strength that binds all that is, right now, waiting to be received by your heart, is the most sought after of all precious gifts. For in the quest for the Grail, the search for the truth, the soul embraces divinity and knows eternal youth. For the mantle of the body loses its might. The soul freed from this bondage is free to take flight and journey through the temples of the universal mind. There the truth resides and in nurturing radiance shines. And bathed in divine light and sacred sound, the soul now knows itself, for its Grail has been found. Tale is short and sweet. It is about Graells of Mount Shasta, who listened to a dream. Hi. So, basically, long story short, I had this dream that the Lady of the Lake came to me and said, Graells, you must open an Avalon priestess school in Mount Shasta. And my response was like, are you kidding me? Like when? How? I am so busy. What about McGee? She just embodied you in the in-bulk ritual. Or what about Alicia? She already started a priestess school. And she said, no, it must be you. And same dream looped over and over and over again. And then I told Tony in the morning, and while I was telling Tony, this black bird, I always get confused between ravens and crows. Can somebody please tell me how to tell the difference? Somebody in England told me that the raven is actually the rich man's crow. So, are they both the same? Whatever. All I know is that I am of the Blackbird clan, and that's all I really need to know. So nobody needs to tell me. Forget I even asked. Anyway, so this blackbird was, rah, rah, you know. Tony's like, well, bird thinks you should do it. I was like, holy shit, like how? Like, my schedule is insane. Like, how am I going to do this? So I let go. A couple days later, probably 3, it was a full moon, and I went to get in bed after my usual, like, crazy, you know, days of working till 1:30 to 3 in the morning. And I get in bed, and, like, right at the nape of my neck, I feel like, get up and work with the moon. And it was that feeling that you don't say no. You just go and do it. And I went out. And for the first time, I really, really, really understood the concept of drawing down the moon. Like, I really got it. And while I was drawing down the moon, I heard this shuffle, like in the dried grass and leaves. And I turned and looked, and it was a big black wolf that I saw with these eyes. I've seen things with these eyes, but this one I saw with these eyes. And I was like, oh my goddess! It's like, oh, it's totally just going to stand up and start talking to me. And, you know, I have this background in horror films. For those of you who don't know, you know, I've been in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 and Heathers and all these other crazy Friday the 13th on television. And, you know, and I was raised on Creature Feature. Thank you to my brother. And it was like, oh my God, what do I do? And I went up onto my stairs, and I started speaking in a really strong English accent to this wolf. And then it just glided across the yard and went out towards the maypoles that we have planted in our yard. And I went in the house and was like, magic. And went to sleep. A couple days later, Mikhail King invites me over, invites Tony and I over for dinner. He thinks that I'd like this sister that he connected with over the internet. I go over, we're in conversation, have this beautiful, amazing dinner, and her name is Samantha Wolf, and she is a priestess of Avalon, and went to this Priestess of Avalon school in Glastonbury. I was like, oh my God, there's such a thing? I didn't even know there was such a thing. A couple days later, I go to Berryvale. There's a whole table full of people speaking with beautiful English accents. I go over, hey, where are you guys from? They say Glastonbury. Do you need a place to stay? They say yes. Great, come over. Come and stay with me 4 days, and just absolute brilliance and joy and fun and laughter and download. And next thing you know, I have another dream. John Lennon, who's one of my guides, comes to me and says, Graells, you must circle dance on Lunar Lammas in Glastonbury. Promise me you'll circle dance on Lunar Lammas on Glastonbury. He was actually playing the guitar in my kitchen during the dream. It's very cool. And I'm like, all right. So I start doing some computer research, and I see that this school in Glastonbury is only open to the public at certain times, and it just happened to be that on Lammas they have their big, huge goddess conference with workshops and rituals and teachings galore. And so I went. And I went for 4 weeks. And I just want to share with you some of my poetry and some of the amazing magic and beauty that I experienced while being there. Thanks for being a part of my life. And now I'll get my poetry book. this is the Glastonbury tour where I went to every single day, and it was really, really groovy. Okay. I got this tattoo. Can you see that? Got this tattoo. 1 out of 2, actually. This amazing brother named Flint. He is a Druid priest. And when I was getting it, McGeen was with me. Sacred, blessed Sister McGeen came with me for part of my journey. And when I got it, we were chanting Morgan, Igraine, Dindrain, Namu, Kundry, Ragnell, Argante, Enid, Guinevere, ladies, Guinevere 9, Guinevere Avalon, carry us through time, Priestess, Druid, Shapeshifter, Swan, Bellfire, Union, help us respawn, burn away the karma, sweep away the soot, dance the sacred rites, magic is afoot. And we chanted it over and over and over again. And Flint was really into it. And at one point, he stood up and got off his shelf this really big, huge sword and pulled it out of its sheath and said, "If we're going to do it, let's fucking do it." And he put it underneath my chair. And it was just such bliss. And I had zero pain. Yeah! And the second tattoo I got, I actually won in a raffle. Who would have known that you could win a tattoo with Flint in a raffle? But I did. And I'll show you. Can you see? Can you see it here? Okay. Here's my blackbird. These are 4 leaves from a very special grove of trees that I was drawn to do ritual in every day. And it's the oak. This is the sycamore, the birch, and the field maple. And later on in my trip, I found out that that was actually the grove of trees that the Michael line or dragon lines shoot directly through. And also where Samantha Wolf did her initiation in as priestess of Avalon. So, just totally guided. And here is an apple, Avalon orchard, and also if you slice an apple in half, we have the 5-pointed star in there. And this here is the priestess crescent, also known as the barge that the Lady of the Lake carries you into Avalon on. So pretty cool, huh? Okay, now a little bit of my amazing poetry in my personal opinion. So, okay, now this crow feather, blue chalice, Morrigan, Gwyn. I am granddaughter of Fairy Queen, Fairy King. Okay. Now in my tattoo, in the chalice of my tattoo, I've placed these waters. The morning dew of rose petals, the white and the red spring, the rain catch on the altar at Stonehenge. It is these waters to home I bring. The mists of Avalon on the tour, the waters of ancient Bath, the dew on the grass of the labyrinth, the goddess reveals my path. The water of a crop circle, sky dancers 10,000 sacred springs, the rainwater at Avebury, the harpist plucks my strings. My tears of sadness on leaving, my tears of joy connecting with the Fae. Yes, you may enter. Upon my body this water lay. I like that one. It really works for me. So I had all these beautiful, of course, amazing connections. But the biggest one for me is the moment that I experienced my deep connection with Morgan Le Fay and Gwyneth Nuff. And this particular one was when, after I did the labyrinth, there's actually a labyrinth that goes around the tour, the Sacred Mound in Glastonbury. And at the beginning of my trip, I went into the labyrinth, and on the end of my trip, I came out of it. So there was a big portion of my trip that I was actually in the inner worlds and spending time with Gwyneth Nuth. And this I wrote after I came out, and I went into his fairy cave that's in the Temple of the White Spring. Deep and dark I travel to the depths of my soul. I call out to the fairies, Morgan Le Fay, I've paid my toll. Gwyneth Nuth, my grandfather, most handsome man of all, guide me down your spiral stairwell. Hold my hand, I will not fall. Morgans of 9 at the cauldron, welcome me to my home. Bathe and purify me in the fires, chant the sacred Om. Dance a Lammas circle, up upon the tour, sing with priestess sisters, fulfilling all the written lore. I often listen to my guides, and John let me know that I needed to circle dance on Lunar Lammas, and I searched and searched for somebody to circle dance, lead a circle dance, people who do circle dancing, and I couldn't find anybody. And so I went into meditation and I said, hey John, I can't find anybody to lead this circle dance that I'm supposed to participate in. And he looked at me. Yeah, he looked at me. He said to me, what the fuck is wrong with you, Graells? You're the circle dancer. You lead it. And I said, oh, right. So then I wrote this. Kermadrone and Mary, Demeter and the unnamed, we dance for you the sacred Nyclagenia's heat we claim. Abundance in the garden, grains and fruits for all. We dance for you this full moon night, Lou, hear our call. And we danced outside the White Spring, inside the White Spring, up on the tour. And where else did we? Yeah, I think those are the 3 places. And I choreographed it at Chalice Gardens, where the Red Spring is. Hail, Lady, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among people, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Holy Lady, Mother of all, we pray in balance with the Lord, now and at the moment of every change. With the power and the glory now and ever shall be, world forever transforming, blessed be. My friend, Morgana, and those are my shoes that I wore. Those shoes were at Stonehenge, Woodhenge, West Kennet Longbarrow, Avebury, and a crop circle that was done on 7/7/07 in the shape of the Om symbol. I always thought, how cool it would be if our shoes could talk. All the places and experiences. Here's a cool poem that I wrote about that really beautiful grove of trees that I hung out in. Oak, sycamore, birch, field maple, apple, barge, and crow. East, south, west, north, as above, so below. Avishah, priestess, Mary Magdalene, and the Michael line. Morgan Le Fay, Gwyneth Nuth, family throughout all time. Yeah, so I want to plant a grove here of oak, sycamore, the silver birch, field maple, hazel, and hawthorn as well. We definitely want to, and that they'll go straight down and go into a circle. Because the other major download that I got while I was there was to hold space for the Avishah clan. Ava, Avalon, Shasta, Shah. So, it's basically Heartbridge for those who are totally connected with Avalon and Shasta. And there's all this amazing information with the Mayan calendar about the birth of the new Camelot
being like in our essence now, and just there's so much, and all the word magic, it's so profound. And sometimes I get like I can't even describe it, and sometimes it like comes up in conversation, but other times like I can't just like, you know, pull it out right now, whatever. But the point is that it's necessary. And with that major amount of fire that I usually have under my ass to take on huge projects, I have chosen to experience what that means, the Avishaw clan. And also the 9 moons Avishaw birth attendants, bringing the sacred back to birth. And you know, people who are pregnant with children or their own personal destiny can come forth and be assisted by the Avishaw birth attendants. Oh, let me think about other really magical events. For the first time, I was gifted a whole crow who just left her body. I met a beautiful brother named Kieran, who is a druid and activist for our Mother Earth and keeping her pure. Well, she's already pure. That doesn't really work, actually. He's just really into supporting her and her boundless beauty. And he made me this really amazing Pictish warrioress belt, I called it, and I was really psyched. And it only lasted on my waist one day, and it slipped away, and I was, I thought like, I can't believe it. And then, took a deep breath and realized, hey, it was a gift, and I give it back to Gaia. You know, like there's some other sister or brother who's going to find it and really need it more than me. And let it just be passed on as a sacred talisman, you know, just let it keep moving. And I asked to be guided. I was on my way up to the tour already, and I just asked for guidance. And all the trees blew and were like, this way, Graells. And there's all these cows up there. You didn't see it in the picture that I showed you. I think the little computer guy like pulled out all the cows for some reason. The cows are so amazing. They're all Hathors and Isis, and they're so sweet, and they like communicate really clearly. They either like lick your hand or they're like, get away from me. And I asked the cows which way to go, and they're all like, this way, Graells. And then a butterfly flew by, this way, Graells. And a bird flew by, this way, Graells. And eventually they led me to this really amazing meadow that when I first got there, on my trip, I got there on the Feast of Mary Magdalene and left on the Feast of Diana. So I thought that was really pretty righteous. And Nagin and I and some really other beautiful people did a ritual in that same meadow. And then I realized also, oh my gosh, this is the same meadow that we did the Lammas bonfire in, which we went there really late at night, and I didn't recognize it. But then I realized that, okay, this is where we were. And as I was being led, boom, right to this spot where this crow was laying, and she had just left her body. She was really soft, and it was just, I've never had an experience like that. And that was very special for me. And if anybody would like to know details about any of these experiences, please let me know. You can make an appointment with me. Everybody knows my schedule here. It has freed up a lot, though, like, tremendously, because I'm no longer teaching at the college, and I have given a lot of my classes over to wonderful professional instructors, and also instructors who are ready to birth their natural given talent as instructors. And so I'm spending a lot more time outside, We have even put our bed outside. Yes, right out in the yard. And I can't believe it's taken me 42 years to spend my evenings, my dream time outside without a tent, without a canvas, without anything. And I highly recommend it. It's so awesome. And so yeah, I'm spending a lot more time outside. Since I've been back, I've gone to Castle Lake and the river and up on the meadow and the mountain and to the headwaters more than I have in 5 years of being here. So, what do you think about that, Morgana? Pretty damn cool, huh? I'm feeling really, really good, and nothing else is really specifically coming through. Let me see if there's one more poem. I did write this when I got back and I went up to the meadow on the mountain. She lays upon the landscape. She kisses his blue skin. The mountain, Shasta. The isle, Yeniswitrin. She lays upon the landscape. She kisses his blue skin. The blue sky. The green earth. This is our kin. So, I think I'll find something else pretty to show you.
Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. I copied that off of a sign that was at this really cool ashram called Shakina Ashram in Glastonbury. Highly recommend it. How great it is when the whole universe is your friend. Yogi Bhajan. I am the opinion that my life belongs to the community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it what I can. Bernard Shaw. And I agree. So, with that said, I think I should show you my little elven ears I grew while I was gone. Let's see. I think you'll be able to see them. What do you think? Can you see? Oh. How about this side? Oh. Can you see? Oh. Nice, huh? Right there. That's what I'm talking about. I always knew I had a little bit of pixie in me. Well, family, thanks for your time. Thanks for your encouragement. Thanks for your amazing, total, continuous support. And I just would like to encourage you all to check out Glastonbury. I really dug it. Blessed be.